Okay. From a totally unbiased source known as The Verge, Microsoft will ban Forza players who add the Confederate flag to their digital cars. Players who use other quote unquote notorious iconography, including swastikas, will also be banned. So we went okay, and within the same generation, we went from probably like I don't know Hitler pictures of Hitler on your cars in Need for Speed to getting this shit banned on Forza. And before we go on, I will say that their plausible deniability is probably that somehow since it's a game that's it's like whether for eSerb it's like E for everyone or E10 or something, and for like the European system it's probably like 10 or maybe even 3. So this is intended as a kids game, even though like kids play all kinds of fucking games, and that's fine because video games are honestly like the least of society's problems at this moment. But nevertheless, we still have this shit going on. So yeah, but don't pin it on Forza itself. It might not even be a Playground Games decision. I don't okay like Playground Games is a developer, but Microsoft is a publisher. So any of these rules is probably enforced by the publisher rather than the developers themselves. The developers obviously don't intend to regulate what kind of vinyls people put in there. Although you can't put any swear words on your license plates, which is fucking lame. I even got my username changed, but well, on my yeah that's actually probably because of Microsoft because I'm using an Xbox Live account on my PC, mind you, because I'm not a fucking console pleb. So
So,
don't give the developers hell. This is entirely on Microsoft. But any more final thoughts before we hit the article?
so, so when Black Ops 1 came out and you could play Nazi zombies. So like, you play in this theater that's in Germany in this weird timeline, but there's like Nazi flags all over, and like the fucking zombies have swastikas on them. Okay, cool, fun. So they did in Black Ops 3 kind of like a remaster, but not really, of that same map. And they took out all the swastikas. They took the swastikas off the Nazis, but they still called it Nazi zombies. They took all the swastikas out though. I think they just used the German army symbol or whatever. So there's that. I mean, they've been prying away from the. They've been trying to remove uh, the Confederacy and the Nazis from history, even though it won't change the fact that it actually happened. In Call of Duty World War II, there was no swastikas, no Nazi party, anything in there at all. And
Yep.
they included the death trains, I think, or like the death like some of the death camps, but still, even there was no like SS soldiers or any Nazi flags because
That's a bit that's an edge too sharp.
that's an edge too
It'll cut
sharp.
all your fans.
But
Yeah.
the thing that bothers me the most is that we are trying so hard to erase history by taking down statues, removing it from our video games, from our movies, from culture. We just want it removed. And I feel like this will have some kind of huge repercussion, whether it be like history repeating itself, because it does all the time, or um, maybe causing the group to rise up after people like forget about it. Because I mean, what's
Well,
next? I mean, what's next?
We already have history repeating itself, and that's what you call Antifa.
I mean, YouTube is taking down videos from the Nazi Party and teachers are complaining about it because they can't like show them, hey, this is what Nazi Germany looked like.
Well, yeah. I guess we got out of the public education system quick enough, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. But we can dive into the article now. That's all I had to add. That's the only thing that I'm really scared about.
Gotcha. Well, let me have a sip of water and we'll get started. One more thing. Let's go look at what kind of author wrote this article. Taylor Lyles. Click on the no. Oh well, it's probably a chick, a gender diverse XX chromosome person.
Yep.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. She was probably hand selected for this article. All right, let's go back. Leftist tech websites. Fucking hell. All right, scroll down. We need to get to the... Okay, there. All right, if you play Forza Horizon or Forza Motorsport, you have some freedom to personalize cars in the game, even adding your own custom designs. One popular example, players have used the feature to recreate General Lee, the 1969 Dodge Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard. In almost every single Forza game since at least 2007. But the General Lee famously includes the controversial Confederate flag on its back. Okay, bitch, hold on. What the fuck is a back of a car? That's the roof. Oh my god.
Side note,
the diversity.
They took down the General. The Dukes of Hazzard's reruns. You can't. The movie and the show will no longer appear on TV ever again.
Which platform is doing this though?
I just fucking whichever channel it was playing on. I don't fucking remember. Just oldies like. But it was because of that show. The fucking Dodge Chargers are so hard to find because they wrecked so many of them recording that fucking show, and yeah, and because of the flag that was on top, they won't be showing it anymore. The show because it's too spicy. You can't include a Confederate flag. They weren't racist in that show. I mean, I watched it. There's nothing racist about the show. Just a bunch of hicks who liked racing cars. But all because of
well, in case we forgot, I guess being white is racist. So
yeah,
all the people there are white. So if they're all black, well, actually, it'd still be called racist because even if you replace all the cast of Dukes of Hazzard with black people, because they're like doing like Southern stuff, they've got like their cowboy hats and the Confederate flag slapped on the top of their cars and shit. It's still going to be called racist. So I guess they can make like a parody version. I think the only way you can somehow preserve the essence of Dukes of Hazzard, if you paint the whole fucking car red and have like a yellow hammer and sickle at the top of the roof, then it would be fine. And that would be a good comedy. But even though I'm not the biggest fan of Southerners in America and the Southern culture in general, I do emotionally understand the sentimental value. And even though I'm not, I'm furthest from a redneck as possible, sans political views, I too am affected, I don't know. I used to really hate rednecks when I was back when I was a leftist dipshit, but now things are turning around. I find myself on the same page as they are. Now, regardless, okay, if you in a statement posted on Twitter, fucking Twitter, Microsoft updated its enforcement guidelines to have a zero tolerance policy for any player using the Confederate flag or other symbols that represent notorious iconography, including Nazi imagery and the rising sun, the imperial Japanese flag, which can be a simple symbol of Japanese imperialism. Okay, that one's a new one. Usually people just go after like, okay, Nazi symbols have always been that was the first one. That's been censored for, I don't know, pretty much ever since it was invented. Ever since Hitler appropriated it from the I think it's like the Hindus. Um, and now, okay, this is a new one.
Okay,
And
so
okay, and then with the Confederate flag, and now the Imperial Japanese flag.
why don't we censor Great Britain's flag? I mean, they've taken over like tons of places and done terrible things to people for fucking centuries. I mean, why don't we censor the Catholic Church? Because back in the fucking medieval days, if you didn't know how to read, the Catholic Church said, "Oh well, if you give us all your money and you work for us, give us free labor, basically be slaves for the church, you'll go to heaven," which is not in the Bible. Why don't we censor that? Why don't we just censor everything? And you know what? While we're at it, let's just erase everything.
Okay, I've got one. I've got a simple answer to that. What makes you think that won't happen? Did you not just jinx us?
I probably just did. We're gonna start seeing
Yeah.
people calling out Great Britain, and Great Britain's just gonna change their flag into a pair of ass cheeks being spread open.
Well, probably. Maybe they'll close the loop, and they'll finally like I don't know to celebrate a ethnic diversity. They will somehow accidentally like draw a picture of a gay Muhammad, and that'll piss off all the Muslims in Europe. And then the left might start eating itself, or the Muslims will start turning against the left. Who knows? That would be. I hope to be alive to stay and to sit around and watch that. That would be quality entertainment. The LGBTQ commies like fucking imagine Antifa Chaz going to war with like a Muslim no-go zone. Oh boy.
The Hebrews were slaves to the Egyptians. The Egyptians were black, aren't they?
And in case anyone forgot, the Muslims hate Jews. There's the Gaza Strip, a place of like weekly bombings and missile attacks from between Palestinians and Israelis. But nobody talks about that because you're either a Nazi or an Islamophobe for
You know,
for even mentioning it.
we should censor Egyptian history in our history books because that was slave labor. All of that was slave labor.
Well, first of all, I think other than the given fact that we was Kangs and shit, I don't. I think it would actually be racist to censor Egyptians.
Why?
Because hey yo, hold up. So you be saying we was Kangs and shit. You don't remember? Yeah, how do you not know that meme? I'm disappointed in you. You don't know that meme. But anyway, I'm pretty sure. Okay, even if we wasn't Kangs, I'm pretty sure Egyptians are like non-white people. They might have like Caucasoid features, but I'm sure they're pretty tanned. Egypt's not exactly it's not exactly Iceland in terms of weather. So they would be considered people of color, and nobody's going to talk about the Egyptians. Instead, what the SJWs, what BLM, the Jagas are going to push instead is the supposed fact that the original British people, the native British people, were all brown. And I don't know, I guess like the Germanic tribes that invaded the English Isles were the only white people. Because, humans or something. Anyway. Okay, so here's where the title got a little clickbaity, and a lot of the articles are doing this, including the ones that are like taking a more non-retard left stance on the issue. Microsoft will not automatically ban players, but create designs with. Microsoft will not automatically ban players that create these designs with these controversial images, but instead the original designer will need to be reported by submitting a ticket. So I guess that's a bit of relief. Um,
So it's not like auto ban on anyone who's downloaded this skin, right?
I mean,
It's just the
there's
person who made it.
even though Forza isn't like fucking Fortnite or Call of Duty in terms of a customer base, it's there's still a considerable number of people there, and most of them don't fucking care about politics. Most of them don't even have Confederate logos on their cars. I mean, after playing that game for oh well, I guess I haven't played it in several months. Having played that game through over a period of time, I would say I put at least 200 hours in it. I have, you'd be hard pressed to see any like Confederate decals. And considering how the majority like there's anime chicks. There's I look in the okay, so okay. Now here's how the paint jobs work in Forza. You can choose to have a solid color.
Mm.
You can do your own custom vinyls, or you can go with like a preset, which is like a whole car skin from front to rear, top to bottom, rims, rim color, window tints, everything. That's all. They're distributed in packages called liveries, and they're all free. So if you want to make a custom livery, for example, you want to make General Lee, you get a charger, you splash some orange, you put a 01 on the side, and you can drop an image, like load an image from your computer and drop it on the roof, and voila, there's your General Lee livery, and you just click download. You look through, you browse through like the livery catalog. You click download and done. It's that easy. So there's a lot of creative work that goes into like making some of these paint jobs.
Mm.
Excuse me, the liveries.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, you should see the fucking anime chicks all
Mm.
over. It's loaded.
Okay. So what you're saying in there to be a proud supporter of our community, we should go in there and make a livery of I don't know, maybe just like a dude with tits with his fist in the air screaming BLM. That'll give us approval by our
I don't know.
overlords.
Okay, so Microsoft thankfully had enough brain cells to realize, oh, we shouldn't do the banning. We should just create a portal where people get reported. Okay, so now there are two things that can go wrong in the process if the leftists are trying to take over Forza. The first thing is that, how many people that are playing Forza really fucking care about politics? They're mostly kids. You know, maybe kids are more likely to do it because their parents told them that, racism is bad and we need to check our privilege as a happy white family with my two moms and a transgender kid. So okay. So the first problem for the left, let's say the left is trying to let's hypothesize that the left is trying to take over this game. The left, there's two problems that the left run into. The first of all is that the majority of people playing Forza don't fucking care about politics. There's not many like people there. And second is that Microsoft has to process all those individually, and and Microsoft is Microsoft really going to put that much R&D into it? If anything, I think this is just an announcement, just to keep the riots at bay, so people don't fucking criticize Microsoft for not taking action. Even though, interestingly enough, nobody would have fucking noticed because Forza obviously isn't popular enough. Like, take a look at these games. They've already become rather sanitized. Like Modern Warfare could have been so much more gritty, but they hold back a lot. Forza is even less so. What the fuck could possibly be political or where's there any social commentaries about anything in Forza? Maybe the feminists would have complained how like the how all the female avatars for your Forza character that you can choose as you start the game are like really attractive, and you can like make one of them you can dress your avatar to wear like all kinds of clothes. By the way, you get a ton of fucking free clothes in this game, and it's almost it's not even funny. So yeah, you can like make your female character wear like leggings, and it shows like it shows the goodies. Let's just put it that way. And there's not many scenes like obviously since it's a car game, there's not many scenes where there's no scenes where your character will get out, so you can only see like your avatar in the cutscenes. I'm surprised there's no fucking feminists complaining about it. So I really think
maybe because women don't actually play video games, and the ones that do are
gasp,
tomboys.
possibly. I mean, that might not be likely, but hmm, I don't know. I don't no no no. That can't be. Women are equal to men. They love video games just as much as men do. You sexist. How dare you assume that? Um anyway, I think more than anything it's just not mainstream enough. I mean, even though Forza is like it is, I'm sure it's raked in millions of dollars of profit for Microsoft, and it's a quality game. It's a fucking AAA title. It's apparently it's just not big enough. So that's why you see a bunch of these articles when you go out looking for it, but nobody's fucking talking about it in the mainstream. It's not like fucking Netflix shows or whatever, because video games take effort, and people are so lazy that they'd rather watch TV than even play video games. So I'm not saying like the video games are the most productive thing you can do in your life, but never on the scale. Yes, it does take more effort because you actually have to like do something other than just have the information be fed to you.
Hmm.
But anyway, okay, I'll say my conclusion after we're done with the article. Let's go blast through it real quick. Shit, we're already at 20 minutes. What else is here? While some players notice a ban, it hasn't sparked a significant backlash yet. Well, it's been like 3 days. No, like 5. Fuck, it was like last week. Besides, if you want to turn your 69 Charger into a General Lee, you don't need a flag to do that. Well, yeah, because the flag is on the fucking roof. Nobody looks at the top of cars. Also, here's the General B. Is that something legit, or is that like a SJW alternative to General Lee?
General B.
Is it like a parody or some shit?
Oh, it's. Oh.
Like, if you can tie that reference to like Bumblebee from Transformers, yeah, okay, I guess. But that's honestly kind of fucking lame. Because Bumblebee's a Camaro. There's no reference to this. Oh my god.
That's racism right there on wheels.
Oh, okay, hold on. Is there a black guy in the Mercedes that the sheriff is chasing?
Oh.
There's a white cop in there. Oh no. He's not chasing anybody. He's just cruising. Well,
Okay, now we're just
I don't
getting.
know. I don't think there's a but. Okay, even though you could install like uh, police lights on your Crown Vic in Forza, I don't think there's a button to activate the lights or sirens or anything. Unfortunately, like you press the horn button, it's just horns. There's nothing.
Okay, so are we closing out the video, or are we gonna keep reading?
Um.
Because this is it.
Okay. Well, let's just rip through the last paragraph. In recent weeks, debates surrounding the modern display of the Confederate flag. This woke bullshit inflated the Marine Corps and NASCAR. They've both banned the flag and the depictions of it entirely, while lawmakers in Mississippi voted to remove the emblem from its state flag. Oh my fucking god. Okay. All right. Now, at first I was about to go, I was about to go, Allahu Akbar when I first heard about this. But then I look at all the details. Take a look at this fucking Twitter post here. Our goal is to create a safe, secure, and inclusive and enjoyable experience for all players. Moving forward, the use of this Confederate flag on any car and under circumstances will be categorized as notorious iconography in our enforcement of guidelines, and its use will result in a ban. Now, it's not as blatant as like fucking Call of Duty, where they like force you to read this like Black Lives Matter message before you can even like start the game or get past the main menu. Um, and by the way, let's I got Forza running right now, so I can let's see what's going on while I give my closing thoughts. Oh shit. Okay, considering one how the game is no long it's not as big as everyone it's not as big as either of us think it is. It's I don't think this ban is really gonna go anywhere. First of all, not many people are gonna report it because nobody fucking cares. It's Forza. And also it's nothing really new. Like I'm pretty sure my license plate was changed, even though I wrote like titties on the first one. And my first username was rather vulgar, but now they changed it to something else that has begins with the letter F. Oh well, shit, it crashed. Oh.
Okay, so none of this has anything to do with race. This is just pleasing the mob and making sure everyone's nice and happy. And oh yeah, we want to create a safer and more inclusive environment for our players, even though we're taking away the right to make the car from the TV show that they liked. We're just gonna take that away, because
Okay, well, the thing is, okay, my what I think is going to happen is that this is a rule, but the enforcement's going to be so poor to the point where the rule doesn't really exist anymore, and nobody will fucking care because it's Forza. It's not a Netflix show. It's not, I don't know, Jon Stewart or CNN or whatever. So when you have a law or rule and the enforcement's not poor, enforcement is not good enough, then is it really a law anymore? In effect, the terms no. It's just written in there just to in case. It's a security measure, just in case some sensitive Anita Sarkeesian looking motherfucker comes into the Forza community and says, "Oh my God, there's racism in this game. Cancel, 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 cancel," which is less likely than like you getting into a car accident, but you put your seatbelt on anyways. So that's what I think Microsoft is doing here. And I think since Microsoft's so big, they probably just bought all the licensing from Playground Games to the point where the only thing that Playground Games has any affiliation to the game is just with the splash screen, as you just saw. Because Microsoft is a fucking Goliath. Let's see if this fucking game launches. And honestly, as a devoted Forza fan, I'm more pissed off about the fucking game crashing all the goddamn time. The updates are painful, and whenever your internet starts to crap on you, I have really unreliable internet, by the way. The game has trouble running. Like it starts stuttering, you get frame drops, and of course, crashing. When your internet connection is not working, you cannot play the game without connecting to the internet and signing in to say, "Hello, my dear Lord Microsoft, I shall commence my playing of Forza. May I proceed, Master?" But a lot of games are doing that, Call of Duty included. So, I mean, what are we gonna do? And there we go. See, it can't even fucking launch it. I don't know. And maybe Microsoft's on to me. I have like 3 cars. I think I have like 100 cars in my garage, and only 3 of them have like Confederate logos on them. Mainly just to troll people, just for the lulz. And back when they let me, I also had my license plate say titties. Um, yeah. But that slowly got eroded away, and my license plate and username got forcibly changed without my permission long before any of this happened. It's been like that for months. Like last time I was able to run the game without fucking crashing, which was a while ago, as you can tell. So I don't know. Um, the bad news is that it happened, but the good news is that it's nothing new, and it's probably not really going to go anywhere. But the other bad news is that this is like a best case scenario. The company's like, "Oh my God, we need to make sure that no stupid people are offended by our game." Ooh. And that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is like, you get businesses fucking tear themselves apart because their executive branch is too fucking they're too pussified to even save their own company from fucking idiots who want to destroy your business because the user base of your product are offending you. You know, like one person says something racist on Facebook, people blame Facebook for this. That's how you win. You just have a lot of numbers and you bitch loud enough, and you don't have to actually put up a fight. But the left right now is going both ways. They're bitching on one end and then putting up a fight with Antifa. Like the psyops is the news media. The Marine Corps are Antifa. and Black Lives Matter is the army. So they got the whole military package right here. They can they penetrate, occupy, and dominate.
My closing statement, we should probably wrap it up here, is that
Yeah.
slavery didn't end, and if you're a Democrat, you have only become a slave to the welfare system. You can do your own research, but just look up Lyndon B. Johnson. Just look up his famous words. Those athletic joggers will vote Democrat for the next 200 years. And you know how he got it? He got it by tricking you guys with free money.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's bad for white people too. Let's not forget, and Native Americans.
It's bad for Native Americans.
It's bad for literally everybody.
Oh, dude, the Native Americans is such a sensitive topic, because when we came here, we brought, okay, so this was before germ theory, but everyone's like, oh, we gave them smallpox. We put smallpox on that. We sprinkled smallpox out of our fucking smallpox shaker onto the blankets and gave them blankets, and then they all died. It wasn't just the Native Americans up here. It was when the Spaniards had also brought over like the plague and shit, and it affected them so heavily because they had never been exposed to any of the dirty Europeans' germs that lots of them died.
Okay, did people even know what a pathogen was back then?
No one. Germ theory didn't exist. Germ theory did not exist. You know what they fucking thought would make the Black Plague go away when it came? They thought if they all lined up and whipped each other with whips and punished themselves, so God would be lenient, that the plague would go away. That's what they thought would fix it. And
meanwhile, they're like splatting their blood because the fucking whips had like burrs on them.
And what actually fixed it was that people died who were too weak to fight it off, and the ones that lived, and it just kind of hung around. But everyone developed kind of an immunity to it, kind of like how, I mean, I hate to say this, but with our current events, maybe if we all just expose ourselves to it and just let nature take its course, and maybe if we strengthen our immune systems, maybe this ordeal would have been over with already.
I remember, according to my unlisted sources, I remember being told that Sweden, not because they're smart, but because they're so dumb they couldn't actually do any isolation procedures. They couldn't, tell people to hashtag stay home, hashtag save lives. So they just went with it. And their casualty rate is probably within the single digits more or less than the United States and the rest of Europe. But
Okay.
I don't know.
The saddest part...
You never hear the news talking about them.
The saddest
you never hear the news
part
talking about Sweden.
about life is that we live, we die, and that's it. And whether we die tomorrow, whether we die 50 years from now, you will eventually die.
Well, the thing is, what makes it sad is that you spend your life and don't do anything and nothing changes. That's sad. But if you spend your life doing shit, kicking ass and taking names, and not regretting it on your deathbed, then job well done. Life well lived. If you have kids or any spiritual successors, if you're like sterile or whatever, hopefully they follow the same suit. But
I would rather die wrecking my race car that I've spent so much time building and planning tomorrow than never have built a race car, never have gone to a racetrack, never have done any of that because it's dangerous. Always drove like 5 miles per hour. Fuck that. I'm living in the now, and that's how I've always lived. I would much rather that be the reason why I die than me dying of cancer or old age or something. I'm more of a true American. Yippee-ki-yay, let's go. So that's just me.
I think that the quote-unquote true American is a long extinct species.
I'm not saying go out and maim yourself, but I'm saying live every day like it's your last. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your time while it's here.
Not enjoy your time, because whenever you talk about enjoyment, usually people, what is enjoyment to people? Like sitting on their ass, drinking alcohol, and watching TV.
I mean, I guess if that's what you enjoy, I mean, go for it.
Well, if that's what you really want, I mean, we can't stop you. But
But my point is, whatever gets you up, whatever gets you going, what you like doing, go do it. You know,
think what you really,
if you like
more
hugging
specifically,
trees,
think what,
go hug a tree. If you like smoking a cigarette, go smoke a cigarette. So
if you like jogging, I guess you go ahead and jog and
you know
complain
what?
about
Yeah, if you like
racism.
ruining our economy, and if you like taking up free money, and you like just kind of ruining everyone else, and just go do it. Go do it.
And
I'm encouraging you to.
just make sure to blame Whitey for it.
But you
And
can't.
hold on. Make sure you actually defund the police entirely, so that way you can actually get rid of racism. And maybe, just maybe, you'll you won't need them, and just maybe you might decide to push your advocacy work or activist work out into the suburbs, and maybe the suburban people, with no police to for them to answer, for to answer their 911 calls. Maybe the suburban people will be very welcoming to you, peacefully protesting within their homes.
Okay.
So
Well, we've gone way off the rails. We're way over time. So please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike and tell me why you didn't like it. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you like/hate me. I don't care what party you're from. Explain to me why you didn't like the video in detail. And if you'd like to check out EVC, a link to his channel is down in the description. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, I need help getting new recording equipment. I would love to get a camera. I would love to get a bunch of GoPros to record some of the car content I will be making. And I'll leave it at that. And we'll see you guys in the next one.